We are live, we are direct with Kimika Garrett, who has 15 years of experience leading transformational change and scaling people strategies across global institutions and organizations. You might find her as a trusted advisor to CEOs, senior executives, and engineering leaders, guiding them through organizational design and cultural transformation. She adds that special spice with a lean Six Sigma black belt. Welcome with a special chemistry, Kimika Garrett.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Amazing.
Glad to be
Amazing.
here, Jay. Thank you so much.
No, it's glad to serve you. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving your hair.
Thank you.
Yeah, loving your
Yes.
hair. Tell me, who do you love serving the most? I mean, you like serving them all, but there might be a sweet spot. You might say, Jay, look, I love serving organizations between, 10 and 20 where I can still get to the decision maker easily. It doesn't take too long. I like them in the
Mm.
engineering space. What's your sweet spot?
I would say where I have the most fun because I like doing work that's fun and I believe in having fun is actually startups.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
love and I enjoy working with startups because it is where nothing usually is created. We're building the plane while flying it. You have a high level of engagement, creativity. You have that, you're hungry for it. The founders or CEOs are still typically actively involved and they have these big visions and they want or need someone to help them with scaling. Those are my favorite.
Amazing. And so some might think maybe established businesses might have a bigger need that people who might just starting up might be just focused on the sales and marketing, product market fit, service market fit. I mean,
Mhm.
where does it come in with startups needing like the organizational people culture type coaching? Yeah.
Yeah, probably once they typically are ready to scale. So
Oh,
they probably are experiencing double growth and they had an old moment. And now we know that we need some being more intentional about how we're structured, or we need some type of HR advisor or guidance and things like that. Yeah, so that's typically where I see it at. But then also on the flip side, for established businesses, I look at their startups that happen in businesses that are 100 years old because if they do a new product launch, they want to reorg, they could have a new leader in. It's still the same startup energy usually, or at least a portion of it.
no, that makes complete sense. Tell me, what does a typical day look like for you? I mean, how does today look? I mean, obviously we're having this conversation now. Like, what else have you got planned for the day? Tell us what you do in terms of your role. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say today it started off with I needed to run a couple of quick errands. Day in a life is real, right? But then I had a project call that was supposed to start at 9 a.m. Then it was pushed back to 9:30. So now I'm in the car and taking that project call in the car. And this one here is more of prepping the CEO for a meeting with their client to facilitate a workshop. So now I'm in the car driving, but making sure that I'm still giving that feedback and everything. Fast forward, hopping over to my next client. So now it is getting ready to pull through for preparing for some afternoon meetings. And so, what are we looking at for deliverables? Then I have another meeting later on today with a different client. So sometimes it could be three, four, five clients in a day. Sometimes it could be one client in a day. Sometimes I have no meetings. Don't tell anyone about those days, right? And those are but I'm intentional about it because those are my head down days where I'm actually doing project work
Okay.
and working through some of the deliverables.
Okay, that makes sense. What trends are really important to take heed of in
Mm-hmm.
this space? And I'm someone that's big on EQ in this climate of AI, making sure that leaders are showing that
Mm-hmm.
EQ.
Mm-hmm.
What have you found? in terms of with leadership and strategy
Mm. Yeah.
in terms of your organizations?
Yeah. So one of the things I have a new signature framework that's coming out that I take a look at integrated intelligences. And one of them is it takes a combination of science, spirit, and strategy and combine it together to help organizations transformation. And so, of course, in the age of AI, the key trend is instead of being fearful of it, I'm leaning in and I'm encouraging clients that I'm working with on how do we actually do workforce transformation that actually truly leverages AI. But then we also have, from a leadership perspective, we still need to make sure that our leaders understand the importance of their decision making, of their, like you said, emotional intelligence, right? Because AI can't replace that. That is still key to us. So how might we work with AI and leverage it to our advantage? So that's one of the major trends that I'm seeing, which is why I created the new framework so that I can help with organizations shift that mindset, shift their culture to embody and embracing it versus being like, oh no, not using AI.
Okay. Um, how important is it? How important is EQ in this time right now? I mean, everyone's like maybe trying to take solace in, hey, look, automation, AI, I've got the tools and things like this, but how important is EQ?
I think it's highly important. This is one of the things where with the with coaching that I do with leaders, even when coming in organizations, that is where you differentiate yourself from the machine. The machine, AI, cannot take in or understand that emotional intelligence, that EQ, but we can. So making sure that we are fully um, in tune with our emotions and able to make those intuitive decisions and strategic decisions that only could come from us. That is what I think is a key thing that our leaders currently and future leaders need to embrace.
Okay, perfect. Readers are leaders, as they say. What books are you currently reading to further your practice and really, lean into more and more mastery? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little different. It's a little different. So I am really into neuroscience, but then also it's a holistic aspect of it. So who I'm reading right now, who I'm studying, is actually Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yes. And so the reason being is that the book I'm reading is How to Break Your
Breaking the
Habit of,
habit.
yes.
Okay.
The way that I use it though in this world and in this industry is how can I help people because we're going to have to, those who are, resistant to AI and resistant to change, how can I help them really with understanding and shifting their mindset, shifting their perspective so that they can really embrace it. So that's literally what I'm studying right now as I'm studying his books and some of his methods for neuroscience. And then also I'm doing a lot of different a couple of different classes really to deepen my understanding of AI.
Okay. No, that is good to have that working knowledge of these trends and use them and
Hmm.
be an example of someone who is adopting doing the early adoption of these things.
Yeah.
Tell me, like in 1 year from now, what would be a goal that would put a smile on your face if you were to do this, you'd be happy?
Mm. Still a little off the beaten path, but I want to do a TEDx talk.
Oh wow, okay.
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
Yeah. So because of the other things is that the way that my brain works and how I operate is the things that I have goals to doing, I achieve them. So, but the TEDx talk is something that just kind of came up and I was like, I think I would really like doing that.
Mm.
So
No,
that would put
that
a
makes
smile on my face.
yeah, that makes sense. Great business thinker, business leader Peter Drucker mentioned marketing and innovation having to be the hub of any business, first of all, how are you marketing to stay relevant and to stay visible right now?
So right now, I'm referral only.
Hmm.
So those, my clients are typically, I get referred to them or they refer to me.
Hmm.
And those are the particular clients I enjoy working with because I know that they are ready and willing and have identified that, you know what, we need this type of service.
Makes
So
sense.
the most I do is sometimes I post a little bit of maybe some of the activities that we're doing, but I typically don't post a lot about the clients because I like to make sure that I'm protecting, you know, who they are and not sharing broadly. But yeah, referral only right now.
Makes sense. And the innovation, how are you innovating in your business to make sure that, I mean, I can kind of maybe tell that you're adding this spirituality
Hmm.
to things and
Hmm.
um that angle. But yeah, is that it? Or like, yeah, tell us about the innovation that you're doing.
Yeah, so the first off, the innovation is how do I marry the science, that's the neuroscience, how do I marry the spirituality, and how do I marry the strategy all together? And so creating that framework is how one of the things I'm innovating, but I'm also leveraging AI in multiple ways. Like I'm learning, diving in, I'm playing with it, you know, and then I go and I teach it to others. And I test it out here and I test this framework right there. So it's literally a very building it as I go to make sure that I can, if I break it, does this can I fix it back together again, right? So that's one of the ways is I'm an early adopter and I'm usually somewhat outside of the box is kind of how I like to push the envelope.
No, that makes complete sense. Out of work, how do you unwind? What types of you strike me as someone that's very spiritual, like you got a, you know, a wise soul about you. How tell me how do you relax
Yep.
out of, yeah, work?
So one, I'm very intentional about it. It's not just if I have time. I have a morning ritual and it starts at 5 a.m. every morning and I wake up. I either do meditation, journaling, and reading. And then also, I make sure that I work out or move my body every day. So it doesn't have to be like a strenuous workout. And then one of the things that completely revives my whole spirit is nature walks.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I also do yoga, but I also just sometimes just sit and be quiet with a book.
No, 100%. And you know, sometimes you can you can almost accelerate if you slow down.
Correct.
Yeah, get space to think. You know, I know Gates used to say he used to block out a month on his calendar where he might just do nothing for the month.
Yeah,
And that's where some of the best ideas might come about.
I have actually done that. Not a month, but I have done a week, definitely a weekend. I do a weekend almost every quarter, where it's my think time. And it's funny enough, so I've also started something with a small group of friends called JDFI sessions, where they're just the F word, do it sessions.
Hmm.
And they're just some creative time that we get together and we just work on what it is that we have to work on. And it's just a nice, good flow. 4 hours, we knock out things that would have taken us a couple of days to do if we have her in that zone.
Wow. Okay. That is brilliant. The F word being flow, of course.
Yes, flow, absolutely. What Jay said, y'all.
No, that's amazing. A CEO approaches you, the culture is a bit shaky, employee disengagement,
Mhm.
productivity is down. What's your three-part process to get this company back on the ground?
Assess, architect, and activate.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
first, I'm going to assess the situation. That's basically your current state assessment. I want to understand why. The CEO is going to come and tell me what they think is why, but sometimes that's not the full why because they're at the leadership level. I like to go down and get to the nitty gritty of what's the current state and the why.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next piece is understanding what do you want future state to look like? And I definitely
Mm-hmm.
do some sessions and conversations with the leaders. But then now the architect piece is then now let's build what it will take to close that gap between current and future state. So that's what we build, and I co-create that together with the leadership team. And ideally, I encourage other layers within the organization to participate and activate. Now let's put it into action. But one
No,
of the things with me is I do iterations. So we don't just roll out this one big thing. Let's roll it out that it can be digestible for those who have to change, right? Otherwise, they'll probably rebel against a whole huge overhaul.
no, that makes complete sense. Tell us, what do you want to be remembered for? Like, yeah, on your deathbed
Hmm.
in 70 years, you'll probably live to 100. Tell me, what do you want to be ultimately remembered for?
So this is more on outside of the business aspect. I want to be remembered for that anyone who I touch or who hears me speak, they feel inspired to take action on their dreams, on the things on their talents. I want to be known for that. And so how do I've been doing some of that work and want to continue to do that, but I just want it to be an inspiration. Like, you know what? I talked or met Kimika and she really is, I heard her talk, her, like I was fired up and I actually did this thing I was afraid to do. That's
Amazing.
what I'm gonna be known for.
Yeah. I've been reading a book called Courage. Courage is Calling.
Mm,
And yeah, by Ryan Holiday. And it's, yeah, looking at the two types of courage. Like the first courage is the physical. Like you are, in pain physically, but do something. And the other is the moral courage to,
mm,
you have the vision,
mm,
and it's easy to maybe say it's too hard or I'm not ready, but you have
yep,
that mental courage to
mm-hmm,
follow the vision,
yeah,
because you know it's true,
yeah,
and it's that mental aspect to overcome that in the mind.
mm-hmm.
There's the saying in Italian, "La mente, la mente," the mind lies. The
It does. That's what I'm
Yeah,
reading about in Dr. Joe Dispenza's books.
yeah,
Yep,
and so
yeah,
it's really understanding that, and it's the rent is due every day, unfortunately. Like it's not just once a month. We have to fortify the mind every day, right?
mm-hmm,
In that
yeah.
regard. So yeah,
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna add
yeah,
it to the collection.
amazing. Kimika, tell them how they can get in contact with yourself. I'll put this out on LinkedIn, YouTube, and who are you looking for specifically to serve or collaborate with?
Yeah, so my website is www.orgchemistry.com, and chemistry is spelled KIMISTRY. And yes, it's definitely a play on my name. I also can be found on Instagram as Dr. Chemistry, so you can find me there as well. The type of clients I like to work for are those who have some big, hairy, chaotic problems. Yeah.
Okay.
It could
Any
be
size?
any size. I'm
Okay.
about to start with a client that it has a global organization that they're looking to triple in growth and they need a new operating model.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. So we're going to be
Yeah.
looking through how do we set that up? How do we do that enterprise operating model?
Wow.
Yeah.
The queen of chemistry, Kimika Garrett. It has been an absolute pleasure. From London to Michigan with love. Appreciate you, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay. This has been great.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing.